What's going on, guys? My name is Scalibur, and today I'm bringing you the review video of my SCDT version 1.0. This is the first version of my custom default resource pack, and I hope that you enjoy the video, and I hope that you consider downloading this in the link below. So, to start the video off here, I'm going to compare the three main stone types. You'll notice immediately that the diorite the diorite and the granite look way nicer than the andesite. The reason for that is because these two textures are now customized. I've removed all the little gritty bitty things from these textures that completely ruined them and made them stand up no chance to the andesite, and made all three blocks appear to be similarly pretty to look at. Because this block was always more conformed than the other two, and therefore looked way nicer. These two now give it a match by giving you a similar level of conformity in two different blocks. Moving on here, we have the grass types, including snow, grass, podzol, and mycelium. All of these types go down the block further. That includes, obviously, the mycelium as well, which goes down a bit further. The podzol, which kind of fades into the dirt, as you can see there. And, of course, the grass and the snow, which go down further. Now, the reason why this coarse dirt is here is because, yes, I am running Optifine, and I feel like this is a good time to notify you that this texture pack is incredibly Optifine reliant. If you don't have Optifine, it will not be half as good as if you did. There are a lot of features which are much more improved with Optifine. For example, the grass textures are actually random. You can't see them because it all just looks like a jumbled mess anyway, but the grass is in fact random. Only with Optifine though. There's a little secret for you there. So, Sandstone. The creeper face on Sandstone, which you usually can't see from a distance, is now standing out quite a lot. And when you're wandering around a desert temple in, like, the middle of a desert, this thing can look really nice, and I really do like that little aspect. It gives it a feeling of fake depth. And yes, I know, we do have some models in this resource pack, and yes, I could make this into a model, but I don't think I need to. I think it looks good enough as it is, to be honest. So, next we have the bricks. Now, this is the part where I'm going to have to tell you, a lot of the textures in this resource pack are stolen. When I say stolen, I don't mean like bad stolen. I mean they're all open for use, I guess, because you can download the resources. But this is from, I do believe, Lively Default or Default Plus Plus. I don't know. There's a lot of textures in this texture pack which I've stolen from other places and just I'm using, and I'll get permissions to use them and stuff in the future if I do try and make anything out of this. But this is just a more lively brick texture. It looks a lot nicer and it looks a lot more colourful. This is bedrock. This bedrock is taken straight out of Coterie Craft, and even though, yes, I know, again, just stealing from another resource pack, it's the one I like, so why would I not use it? So this is the bedrock. It looks, in my opinion, a lot nicer than the default bedrock, and just like the two stone types down there, my main goal with this was to make it more conformed. Default bedrock is more of a grey texture and has black and white dots in it. This one's just entirely like a dark grey with the occasional darker grey and lighter grey spots in it, as you can see there, and in my opinion it looks much nicer, so good on you, Coterie Craft, for making such a good bedrock texture. Up next here we have the ice textures, and as you can see, right off the bat, the annoying white lines have been completely removed, or not really completely removed, but edited to be a slightly different shade, and they're all opaque as well. This goes for the packed ice, and in fact the ice is just packed ice, but half as much as opaque. Simple as that. Packed ice is completely solid, ice is just an opaque version of packed ice. It looks much nicer in my opinion. Moving on, we have the glass, and once again, just like the ice, the streaks have all been removed, and the reason why there's two of these blocks here, or maybe even three, as you can see there, is to basically describe about how every single one of my glass textures has its own CTM options, which is basically connected textures for Minecraft. This is again another Optifine feature, again why I heavily recommend using Optifine and turning connected textures to fancy, because you'll get these really, really nice shapes of glass, and all the glass is framed as well, so if you make a large enough room, you can literally just have a blank wall. As you can see there. No streaks, nothing in between. Looks really nice in my opinion. Moving on, we have quartz. Now, it came to me when I was making this resource pack, after I made the diorite texture as nice as it is now, that quartz really had no purpose anymore. Diorite was just way better than quartz in every way. So, how can I fix that? Do I make diorite worse? No, I made quartz better still. Quartz is now incredibly brilliant, crisp white, and it's possibly like it's white. It's just white. There's no variations in it except for like these tiny little, you see the line there's tiny bits of grey in it occasionally. But yeah, quartz is just brilliant white now, and that translates over to the ore as well. This can be seen in the stairs, in the slabs, in the blocks, and the chisel quartz is now consisting of two colours entirely. One of them is dark grey. No, not dark grey. One of them is a darker grey, which is light grey, and the background is just the same gleaming crisp white. The pillar, however, has given like a fake cylindrical effect by having the gradiented pillar arms. I think that looks pretty nice. And this right here is just to contest the quartz. It's black stained clay. Now, black stained clay, of course, is something that you can get in the game already, and it already looks pretty black, but this is just simply more black than before. Clay always has a sort of light tint to it, because it's orange on the underneath, and I do understand that, it does make for a good idea, but the blackness of this, it contrasts the quartz really well, and that's why I like it so much, as you can see there. It's really good for using modern house designs, and for making contrasting colours. It works out really well. Over here we have the wheat. My wheat, fully grown, is a hell of a lot brighter than the regular wheat. The regular wheat has like green and brown streaks in it. This, again, is just brilliant yellow. And if you hadn't really noticed so far, everything about my resource pack is to make everything more conformed. Because, yes, I'm a man of OCD. Well, I'm pretty damn sure I am anyway. Moving on here, we have the detailed parts, and yes, there are quite a few things here that you'll notice right off the bat. First of all, my torches are beautiful. This was the first ever resource I ever made, and I have never changed it since, and it just makes a really nice gradiented torch with a brazier at the bottom right there. Now, the brazier doesn't always work because of the way that Minecraft textures load, but it works well enough for me, and I still really like it to this day. Now, the reason why the furnace is here is because I also have this custom fire texture translated over to everything else. So, of course, the furnace also has a very, very bright orange bottom because it uses the same flame texture that the torches do, and obviously all the other sources of fire in the game as well use a similar thing. So lava uses the same textures, furnace uses the same textures, even modded items such as the Tinker's Construct furnace, even that uses the same fire effects. Here we have the ladder. The ladder is just 3D. Simple as that. This is just something that I think should be in the game already, because why wouldn't it be? Ladders look dumb, in my opinion. This is the jukebox. This is ripped again from another person's resource pack, and not because I'm a bad person, just because it looks insane. Am I on the right one there? I am. Look at this. It's crazy. I'm considering updating this in the future, in fact, though, to make the disc have more rotations, because right now it still looks kind of... It looks like a disc spinning at 10 FPS, you know what I mean? You know what I mean when I say that? So I think I'm going to try and make more disc rotations. It's still really good, though. This is easily one of the best textures in my resource pack. Look at the side of the jukebox as well. That's amazing. I love this one. Great song as well. So moving along here, we have more Optifine based stuff. This is Redstone. Redstone is now a hell of a lot brighter at the start and a hell of a lot darker at the end. As you can see here, it goes from like a nice bright orange to a dull brown almost at the end. So that's a better way of doing it. Here we have 3D rail resource models, and yes, these do turn on and off as well, as you can see here. I love these things. I think they look insane. And it's the same situation as with the ladders, really, because ladders and rails should not be as flat as they are. I mean, is that not just simple common knowledge? Like, look at this thing. It looks so much nicer now. You can actually see how the rails come out of the ground compared to the bottom of the block. It looks really nice in my opinion. Same with activator rails, same with the default rails. These are the detector rails. I never remember the name of these. And obviously powered rails as well. Beacons. Now, beacons was an interesting one, because the beacon has always had a diamond block in the middle, and yet not even a single diamond goes into the construction of a beacon. So what's that about? So I just made it a simple white to blue gradient. Simple as that. Now, more more animated textures here, as you can see. Wait, more? Oh yeah, I guess the jukebox was kind of animated, wasn't it? But yeah, the ender pearl is animated now, having this nice spinning spirally effect. It gives the effect of almost like a portal, which obviously would make sense considering, you know, it teleports you. Lava is also animated, as you can see here, kind of glowing whilst it's in the bucket. However, Eye of Ender and Water Bucket are not animated. Those are still exactly the same as before. So over here, we have probably some of my favourite textures in the game. Oh my god. It's so funny. Look at this guy. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. Again, these are ripped from another resource pack, and yes, once again, I will be leaving credits to whoever wants these in the description. And yes, you are not seeing like a little fly on your monitor there. Yes, the rotten flesh does have some little pixels flying around it right there. I think that looks really, really good. It's a nice effect. Rotting flesh, flies, makes sense. But yeah, the fish, whilst they're alive, do kind of swim around like that, as you can see. But then when they're dead, they don't move. Which is kind of grim, but it makes sense. Over here now we have some more of my own custom-made textures. These are the diamond and iron tools. Now, diamond and iron tools have been changed ever so slightly so that the gradient on them is more pretty, like better on the eyes. As you can see here, the pick starts at white at the far end of the pick head and moves towards a nice cyan in the middle. And it's the same with the rest of the tools. The sword has like brighter at the tip, darker at the bottom. And it's not bitty and gritty and itty, which is the main thing I'm trying to remove in this resource pack. It's a nice textured gradient, as you can see there. The only one that doesn't apply to that is the axe, of course, because you can see the bar going to the middle of the axe head. But, you know, again, a nice effect. And the same applies for all the iron tools. They follow a similar pattern, with the iron one having the 2 bars, and every other one just having a nice gradient. Nice way of doing it. Now, this here is the bow. This is absolutely insane. This is taken from Zor's 3D models. Now, I don't usually remember the names of these resource packs, but for this, I would, because this is absolutely insane. This bow is magnificent. It looks incredible. It's easily one of my favorite resource packs. It's easily one of my favorite textures in the resource pack because it's incredible. Look at this thing. It's insane. I love this bow so much. And yeah, as we can see here, again the arrow matches it. As you can see there, it's a tiny, tiny arrow, but there it is. And there it goes. So finally, this last texture here, you might be thinking, why is the book there? The book looks exactly the same. It's not for the book. My enchanted item glint is now incredibly different. Instead of the usual kind of flash of blue from left to right, it's a very, very warm orangey red glow that pulsates back and forth. You can see that. So it's orange, back to default, orange, back to default, orange, get that. Over here we have leather armor. Now leather armor looks the same to start off with. What am I doing? Leather armor looks the same to start off with, but as you'll see in just a second here, can I... There we go. As you can see here, if we try and dye the armor, there have been some changes to the way that armor gets dyed. Now, usually with these little textures here, you would expect there to be some annoying little brown patches that you get in the leather. I've never really understood why those were there, to be honest. The brown patches on leather armor, ugly. When they added the color support for this, I thought, yes, amazing, color support for armor, just what we need. And then you get the brown patches, and it's ugly. So this is a simple fix for the brown patches. I'm not going to call it a bug, but the issue. The issue of brown patches is gone with this, so it looks really nice. Over here we have potions. Potions have had their little kind of streaks taken off the bottles, and they look, again, more conformed as usual. And yeah, unfortunately, the only problem with these, I would really say, is the enchanted item glint, the warm, reddy-orange glow. It doesn't seem to work properly with these potions, as you can see. This should be a blue potion, and it looks kind of purple under the red, which is... You know, it's understandable. I can understand why that's there entirely. But, yeah, that's the main reasoning behind that. Now, this is a cobweb, as you can see. And once again, thanks to Connect Textures and other things that Optifine supplies, occasionally, not every time, but occasionally, you'll find a cobweb with a little spider wandering around inside it. I think that's a really nice effect. Over here we have sugar canes, Sugarrot, as they say in Germany, and only the top sugar cane has randomly lengthed sugar canes. Something like that, anyway. But yeah, I know what you're thinking. Again, this isn't really a Connect Textures mod thing. This could just be done by editing the sugarcane texture. Well, wrong. No, because if all the textures were just that, this one would look retarded and this one would look retarded. So it works out really nicely in the end. Here we have grass. Grass is a similar situation to the sugarcane. Every single time you place a piece of grass, it'll be a random height based on where in the world it's placed. So occasionally we'll get the full-size ones like this, and occasionally you'll just get tiny ones, as you can see there. So tiny to the point that you can't even see them sometimes. And in my opinion, as annoying as it can be for when you're wanting to find those seeds, this is a really nice visual effect. And when you're wandering through a plains biome, this can look really, really nice. Moving on here, we have mushrooms. Now, mushrooms have random blocks here, and I know you won't be able to see it at first because it just blends into a bunch of red and white squares. But occasionally, a mushroom block will spawn with 1, 2 squares, or 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's no 1, no 5, just a random number between 2 and 4 little squares, as you can see there, and that covers the entire mushroom. Brown mushrooms are a little more random as well, not with the amount of dots, but with the rotation of these weird little things that you get on the brown mushrooms. Over here we have logs. Now, logs are usually placed like this, as you can see, but as we know in this game, there are such things as big trees. For example, big spruce trees, big dark oak trees, big jungle trees. So we have connected textures for these now as well. This is the spruce texture as well. As you can see, when you build 4 in a line like this, you get yourself a nice wide oak tree. Same goes for birch, same goes for jungle, but unfortunately I haven't yet made my own for acacia or dark oak. These are once again taken out of a Connect Textures mod pack. But yeah, again, I'll make my own for acacia and dark oak at some point in the future because I do like being a completionist. Over here we have bookshelves, and it's very, very subtle because you usually can't see it anyway. But as you can see, the bookshelves do join together, which makes for a nice effect in my opinion. And finally, right here, I want to show you possibly the best part of my resource pack, and it's the night sky. First of all, as you can see, as it starts to go to dusk, the world will start to go a nice dim orange colour. Now, this is called a light pack, and basically what this does is it changes the colour of everything based on the light level. So you can already see it. It's very obvious in a lot of cases, but as the sun goes down, the whole world will go a beautiful orange colour, and that's that nice idea, you know, the cliched idea in movies when the sun sets and you get beautiful orange scenes, that kind of thing. That now happens in Minecraft, and I love it. Look, see, everything gets like an orange tint to it, and of course, you know, after all that, you get given this beautiful night sky. Again, not mine. A lot of this stuff is stolen. Only a bit of it is self-made. Self-made? Homemade. What am I talking about? But yeah, this is the night sky, and once again, it is absolutely insane. And as it goes darker here, you'll start to see just how pretty it can really look. And that right there is the moon. The moon is slightly different as well. Not much of a change with the moon, but it's very subtle. And of course, the final thing, which you've seen for quite a bit of this video right now as well, is the crosshair. See right there, the crosshair? Crosshair is not an X. The crosshair is an X with a gap in the middle. Just because, in my opinion, it's much better. And of course, the GUI as well. As you can see, the hotbar down there is different as well. Both of those are taken from Craft. Same resource pack as the bedrock. So that's all from me, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed update 1.0 of SCDT. I'll be bringing you more videos in the future when I make significant changes to the pack, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, guys. Links download is in the description, and link to the forum thread is down there also. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.